Hey folks, welcome to Tuesday's Tips. Today we're going to be talking about lighting for video. And we're going to talk about a little bit about how different ways of lighting is going to give you a different look, and how to, difference between natural light and artificial light. Right now, what I have is my window is mostly uncovered. I still have the blinds mostly closed, but I'm getting natural light coming in from the side. So this side of my face is a little bit in shadow. This side of my face is well lit. So, this is just if I'm going to be doing some general stuff, if I'm not really worrying about it, this is how I normally would just jump on if it's daylight. So there are different ways that you can light. There's different ways, type of artificial lighting that you can use. Ring lights are great because now you've got light coming in on your face pretty much evenly from both sides. I don't have a ring light that I use, but this is a very common thing for a lot of people that are doing video, especially if you're using your phone, because you can have a ring light where you mount your phone inside it, and it gives you a great even lighting all the way around. Some of the things that you'll notice, though, is that if you have glasses and you have lighting that's directly in front of you, you're going to have the lighting show up in your glasses. Now, as a photographer, there are times when I've really liked using ring lights because you get the catch light in the eye, which is what the light showing up in the eye from the, as basically a miniature reflection of the light source, will be a ring, and that can be really that can have a lot of great aesthetic to it as well. But excuse me, dry throat. Let's have a drink. So, what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be getting up. I'm going to be changing the lighting in my office, and then I'll be sitting back down so that way you can see some of the differences. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get up and I'm going to turn on my my softbox light. Now, this is not a flash softbox. This is a softbox with a daylight white light on the inside, and it's a continuous illumination. So I'm going to set that up. Now, what I'm going to do is, because I'm kind of in a corner here, and what I want to do is I want to bring some light to this side, is I'm going to basically aim it toward that corner so that it will bounce that light down and help to even out this lighting. So I'll be right back. Now, as you can see, there's much more light over here, and it's also giving me more light on this side of my face. It's also brightening up right here because now I have the light there. Where my desk is situated and things, I'm not able to actually push that really any farther over to prevent this. Now, another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to lower this lighting down, and I'm going to move it a little bit. And again, it's going to greatly increase that lighting. Now, you can see that I'm extremely well lit here, but not necessarily so much from this side. So if I were to able to turn this way, you're going to see a lot. My entire face is lit up, whereas this way, it's just the side. All right, so the angle that you position your light is going to make a very big difference. Now I have that softbox pretty much directly on top of my computer monitor. Um, and you can see that it's kind of a flat light coming at me this way. I'm going to angle it down some more and show you what that does. Now here's the top down. This is at pretty much about a 45-degree angle above me. Now, one of the things that you'll notice is I got a shiny forehead in this. And that's because the light's hitting there first before it hits anything else in my face. You'll also notice a lot of shading underneath the eyes. And then, of course, I typically like to be wearing one of my hats. Now you can't see my eyes. And that's one of the reasons I'm not wearing the hats today. So there's a lot of different aspects to that. It's also going to be something, though, that, depending upon what you're doing, is going to be very, very good lighting for, like, if you're doing a makeup thing or kind of thing. Now, here's the thing. You see, there's where I was talking about. Depending upon where you position that light, you're going to have it showing up in your glasses. So for those of you who wear glasses, this is kind of a consideration. Now, I'm going to drop the lighting down to a lower level, and I'm going to show you how that affects everything. Now what I've done there is I have closed my daylight off, so that dropped a lot of the lighting down, and now I'm just bouncing it off the ceiling. As you can see, that means the background is extremely well lit, but I'm not lit from the front. So if you are trying to highlight a background, this would be a great way to do it, but you need to make sure that you also have a lighting source in front. And again, now we've got some kind of dramatic lighting going on where it's very bright from the side and it's dark from this side. Another aspect of what you can do to help affect your lighting is how close you make it. Right now I have that light set about a meter from me. I'm going to move it right up next to my desk, and let's see how that changes things. Much bigger differentiation between the shaded side and this side. And part of that is because the light doesn't have as much room to expand outward to be able to affect this side. Now, what I have is the light is right at the corner of my desk, and it's angled upward. So now I'm bouncing it off at this corner, and that's filling in this side, and I'm still well lit on this side, but it's not as dramatic, it's not as big of a difference. If I'm doing something where it's at night, or it's dark outside where I'm not bringing in enough light to use that, this is pretty much how I would set up my lighting for doing a video. So basically what I did was I have one light that I was using, moving it around to different positions to show how different types of positioning for lighting will give you different looks. If you're looking for something where you're trying to do a makeup tutorial or something like that, having that front on light where it's even all the way across the face is probably the best choice, because it's really going to evenly light so that you can show everything that's going on. If you're not doing that kind of a thing, I prefer to have light off to an angle, because I want a little bit of a differentiation between one side of my face and the other. It, to me, is a more interesting look. So it doesn't show things as evenly, but you don't want this side like it was when I had the light angled straight at me. You don't want it to be so in shadow that you end up with that really kind of dramatic look. Now, I mean, for photography, it's great. It can be very interesting. But for video, you really want to make sure that both sides of your face are lit up enough to where people can see the expressions on that side of the face. You want to be able to showcase your whole face, but you don't necessarily have to have it to where the lighting is dead on and even. Now, the easiest way for people who are not used to how to set up lighting, or don't have, like I have, a light stand with a softbox. Here, let me show you. Light stand, softbox. For those of you who don't have that kind of a setup, the ring light is really probably the easiest. If you're on a budget, if you need to have decent lighting for doing video, and you're primarily using your phone, then I would honestly say that a ring light is probably the easiest, most effective way to do it, because it's going to be easy. It's going to be, it's not a huge thing to set up to where I got to figure out angles, or I'm going to bounce light, or I'm going to do any of these things. I think about that kind of stuff all the time because I learned to do that as a photographer. So one of the things that I would encourage you, however, is to make sure that when you're getting one of these ring lights, get something that is going to have a color adjustment ability to it, where you can adjust the temperature of the lighting. I've done a previous video regarding lighting temperature. I'll throw a link to that one in here, so that way you can catch that information. But being able to adjust that temperature of your lighting to match what's going on around you, so that way the camera's white balance will even things out for you. You don't have one area that's looking natural and another area that's looking really blue or really orange for some reason. And the other thing I encourage is to get it to where it has an adjustable intensity, so that way you can make it brighter if you need to, or if you don't need it that bright, you can tone it down so that you're still nicely evenly lit without having a whole lot of super bright highlights and stuff showing off on your face. So, a little bit about lighting, a little bit about how to position it, a little bit of showing the different results from how to do these lightings. Now, the other big thing is if you're using a natural light source and a artificial light source, you can run into issues with the differences in color temperature. So if you're going to have an artificial light source that you're going to be mixing with, window light and that kind of thing, I encourage you to make sure that whatever your artificial light source is, that you ensure that it's a day white light. Like if you're buying a bulb, you can look on there and it'll say daylight white or day white. That's kind of what you want to make sure, so that way your lighting will match in color temperature. So until next time, take it easy, enjoy your creativity, and experiment, because you know what, you're going to change things around. You're going to find someplace, I really like the way that looks. So peace, love, and photography, folks. And remember, everything can make a beautiful image, including you. See you here tomorrow. Bye.